back to ZENSFXHUB, where macro and markets is simplified. Before we talk about today's topic, do you see this beautiful trade to the right? This beautiful sell in USDJPY that I gave out for free in my Telegram? Or how about this trade that I got in on your JPY that I gave out for free in my Telegram? All I'm going to say is if you're trying to make some money this year, join my free Telegram. Click that link in my description because I'm only going up. You feel me? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so the end of the dollar, are we seeing it? And if so, where are we headed? All right, so the reason why, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get into the video. I'll say that for later. Okay, so the objective of this video is, the main points is we're going to talk about what a reserve currency actually is, whether the dollar is nearing a turning point, signs of structural erosion, and if another currency can replace the dollar. All right, so how did we get here? How did the US get here? Back in 1944, Bretton Woods, in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, the dollar became the world reserve currency. Okay, and at that time it was backed by gold, and the dollar has been the world reserve currency for approximately 80 years now. Okay, and we're going through a historic cycle right now, and I'm going to explain that a little bit further in another slideshow. Okay, so are we at a moment where the dollar long-term dominance starts to meaningfully shift direction? We're gonna have to pretty much wait and see, okay? So what is a reserve currency? It's a currency that is held by central banks worldwide, used in global trade settlements, dominates global debt markets, trusted store of values for nations. A reserve currency is about liquidity, trust, and infrastructure. Okay? So going back to what I said about the historic cycle, historically, a currency stays the world reserve currency for 80 to 100 years. And you see this with the Dutch glider, the British pound, and right now we could possibly be seeing that with the US dollar. It's a pattern that these four currencies follow. Number one, economic dominance. Okay. Number two, financial expansion. Then number three, debt accumulation, and number four, it starts to gradually come down and weaken over time. So the Dutch glider started out dominating everything economically, right? Started expanding, and then at some point they accumulated too much debt, and that's when everything got weakened. Same thing with the British pound, and literally we're seeing the same thing happen with the US dollar. Okay, transitions are slow, not overnight. So there's not an overnight process. It happens over time. And the fact that the dollar has been a world reserve currency for about 80 years, this is what I'm saying. Where are we headed? Okay, so where the dollar stands today and why it's still important. Okay, roughly 58 to 60% of the money central banks hold as foreign currency reserves is in dollars. Okay, dominant in global trade. So a lot of trades cannot be done without countries using the US dollar. The US has the largest bond market in the world, and it's considered a safe haven during crisis. Okay, the dollar is still king, but its share has declined over 70% in the early 2000s. So the value, right, of the dollar has decreased about 70% since the early 2000s. So this goes back to the slideshow where I was saying a lot of debt get accumulated, and then boom, starts to come down over time. This is what we're seeing. Okay, so signs of a structural erosion. Okay, rising U.S. debt levels, which we have. Go ahead and type in the U.S. Debt clock, and you'll see just how much debt the U.S. is in. A split in global order. Okay, sanctions accelerating diversification. So meaning, countries are losing trust in the currency's financial system, which we are seeing this. And I talked about this a little bit in my other videos where I was explaining how, like, when back in 2022, when the United States actually put sanctions on Russia and froze their assets, that right there, um countries saw that Russia, when they was like, yo, like, really, is this what we're doing? So at that time, um Russia and other countries started to lose faith in the United States financial system. Okay, Central banks are buying gold at an abnormal rate, hence why you see gold trending and moving the way it did. Why are we seeing 2025 gold shoot up year to date about 80%? Okay, which has never happened in gold's history before. Countries are exploring non-USD trade settlements, and this goes back to the video right here. Just to get a little bit off topic, this video right here. Let me show you guys real quick. Let me show you guys real quick. Oh, I'm gonna watch that for sure. Alex G vlogs be funny as hell. I don't even gonna lie. That man is a clown. This right here, the global reset. Make sure you guys go check that out because, um, I talk about how Russia and China are acting like as allies so that they can kind of cut out the U.S. and make their own deals with other countries. Okay, so right now what we're seeing is diversification, not necessarily a collapse. Okay, so the replacement, what currency can replace the dollar? Right, Chinese yuan, and what I listed is some possibilities of why they can't. Right, what are some things that what's the word that I'm looking for? Potential problems that may arise, right? So when it comes to the yuan, capital controls, okay? China controls how money moves in and out the country, and as a world reserve currency, you like the money needs to be like freed, okay? But in China, they control. They like, yo, okay, this how much money we got. This is how much money is going out. This is how much money is coming in. World reserve currency, like it can't be like that, okay? Limited transparency. So less clarity means more risk for investors. So investors they don't trust China at all. So if you don't, even though the trust has been declining in the United States, when it comes to the U.S. dollar and the financial system here in the United States, is less trust when it comes to China. Okay, so if they had to choose between the United States and China, they going with the United States. And when I say they, I'm talking about investors. All right, so it's not fully trusted like globally, like how the U.S. dollar is. Okay, the euro. The euro has multiple governments and is backed by one money. So right now, like when it comes to the U.S. dollar, the U.S. dollar is controlled by the United States. It's not controlled by no other country. But when it comes to the euro, you have Germany, you have France, you have this, you have that. All those countries that make up the eurozone is in charge of one currency. So that is a potential issue. Gold, right? Gold is a reserve asset. It's not really a settlement currency, okay? It's not really something that can be produced at a high rate, like how you can just print out the US dollar and pay for some shit and take care of a problem. You can't do that with gold. And crypto's too volatile for sovereign reserves, okay? So as of right now, there's not really no clean successor. But I, I I am gonna make another video where I could kind of combat this right here and give you guys another theory because again, you have to be open to anything, right? Anything is possible, and we don't know where we're headed. So I have some theories and some ideas on why I think that China could be the world reserve currency in the future, and I'm just giving you my opinion. So I'm gonna do that in a separate video where I break that down. All right, so the most likely outcome, besides us, as a collective having another world reserve currency, just one country controlling everything, it will be a multipolar current currency system, so that where the dollar will still be dominant, but you'll have the euro and the yuan gain marginal share, so they'll have some type of skin in the game. Okay, it won't just be surrounded by the dollar. Okay, gold increases in reserve mix, so gold is going to continue to get bought up, may even be possibly backed by some of these currencies. Right, so we may see that, and regional trade currency grows. Okay, so this will be a gradual shift that will happen over the decades. And honestly, this is something that has never been done before. This is why I'm saying where are we headed? So we just have to be open to anything because anything is possible. All right. So what this means for markets? If the dollar weakens structurally, commodities benefit. Obviously, emerging markets gain breathing room. Gold and silver responds to real rate shifts, and volatility increases in FX markets. Okay. So reserve erosions does not mean immediate crash, but it does means uh, regimen shifts. If the world becomes more multipolar, Capital shifts between currencies more often. So instead of a slow, steady move with like the euro or the US dollar, you'll start to see sharper movement. So this is going to create a lot of volatility in the forex market. All right, so traders takeaway. What to prepare for? Slower erosion. So as we're at like how we've been seeing since the early 2000s, we're going to continue to see the US dollar decrease in value, okay? We're going to see a lot of higher volatility, hence why gold and silver literally reacted the way it did in 2025 and literally at the beginning of this year, and possibly a multipolar currency dynamic. I also forgot to mention my possible theory when it comes to China, but again, I'll write that in another video, okay? The dollar isn't dying tomorrow, but unconditional dominance era is fading fast. So don't ask yourself, will the dollar collapse? Ask yourself, are you positioned for the change that is to come? Okay? So, like always, if you found any value in this video, please like and subscribe, share with a friend. And again, if you're going to trade this information, I know I keep saying this in all my fundamental videos, and I mean all my macro videos, but it's just the truth, right? And I'm gonna just keep saying it for the people who are new. We don't know where the fuck things are going. And with that being said, foreign investors, us as traders, need to make sure we position ourselves to stay protected. So this is why I am super bearish on gold and silver, and why I will continue to be buying gold and silver for the remainder of 2026, probably going into 2027 and 2028. But as of right now, for this year, I'm buying gold and silver because again, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Things are changing at a rapid rate, and it's happening right before our eyes. Some people are too blind to see it, but this is why ZENSFXHUB is here. I'm building a community to keep you guys updated and informed, so that you guys can, number one, make money, but also be educated on where things is headed. All right. So again, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video. Join the free Telegram because I'm gonna make y'all a lot of cheese. You feel me?